In this last video, I'm going to show you guys the rest of this assignment. So starting here, the North versus South, slide 7, slide 8, slide 9, 10, and 11. The North versus the South. After the Great Compromise, which we talked about in class, remember forming the two-house bicameral legislature that has part of it, the House of Representatives, based on population from the Virginia Plan, and the other half of it being equal based on statehood. So the Senate, 2 senators from every state, no matter how big or small the state is. So after the Great Compromise helped settle the debate between large and small states, New Jersey Plan, Virginia Plan, it became clear that the differences that existed between the northern and southern states would be just as difficult, if not more so, to overcome. And it was largely due to the issue of slavery. In the North, most people had moved on from the use of slaves. Indentured servitude still existed as a way to pay debts, but wage labor, so like working for a wage, working, $5 an hour, think about working at McDonald's, $15 an hour, was becoming more and more the norm. And with more opportunities for industry, so like manufactured goods, working in factories, things like that in the North, the wealthy class saw it as the best way to move forward in the North. In the southern states, slavery had been an important part of the economy since the early years of colonialism. So when the first Europeans were moving over to the New World and creating colonies. And it was poised to become even more so. Southern plantation owners needed slaves to work their land and produce the cash crops they exported all over the world. They also needed the slave system to establish their power so that they could hold on to it. A move they hoped would keep the institution of human bondage safe. So they want to keep slavery because slavery makes them money and keeps them in a position of power. White Southerners are not willing to give up this power because it's something that's making them money. And usually people that are in power are hesitant to give it up. So the question for this slide, why did Southerners need slavery? Obviously, they did not need it, but why did they want to keep it? What did it do for rich Southern landowners? After you answer that question, this is a picture of the Founding Fathers. It's not at the Constitutional Convention, but many of these men that signed the Declaration of Independence would go on to help write the Constitution and be founders of the United States. The red dots are slave owners, including George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, James Madison, who is known as the father of the Constitution, right? And then this video outlines the Three-Fifths Compromise that you just read about. You have a 2-part exit ticket. What was the Three-Fifths Compromise and why did the founders of the Constitutional Convention agree to it? Part 2. How does the Three-Fifths Compromise make you feel? It would be around until after the Civil War. Why do you think slavery was so important to the men who talked about freedom and equality? And that is your assignment for today, guys.